In our first story, the National Democratic Congress says the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is unfit to be the co-chair of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals advocate. Hence, it will soon petition the UN for a revocation of his appointment. At a press conference on the banks of the brownish-looking the River Pra, the communications officer of the party, Sami Jenfi, said the president at a recent mining conference in South Africa said the rivers and others are getting back to their natural state after its massive pollution by illegal miners. The party alleged the president and other members of the MPP were neck deep and complicit in the Galamsey madness, which is going on unabated. Well, we're sorry for the loss of sound, but we'll try as much as possible to bring you that story back. Moving on, 2 nurses have given a 2-week ultimatum to the police to come out with findings on the murder of a community health nurse who was laid to rest at Sewa in the Ashanti region over the weekend. The Community Health Nurses Association and the Ghana Registered Nurses Association may have to withdraw services if the perpetrators are not found. The late Ruth Shen Ahing was murdered by a known assailant about 2 weeks ago. Love FM's Erastus Asaridonko was at the burial and subsequent funeral service, and our reports.
An emotionally charged sober moment as hundreds gather at the small Sewa congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses for a burial service. Tears poured out for Ruth Ishon Ahin, described as a dedicated community nurse and a caring mother of 3 who was killed by unknown assailants about 2 weeks ago. Her remains was then sent to the Ayum cemetery about 2 kilometers from where she was murdered for burial. A visibly sorrowful husband and widow, Kojo Ahin, could not speak with Love News. The family wants justice. Stephen Cranton Asare is cousin to Ruth.
On behalf of the whole family, we expect the police to investigate the matter fully. Normally what we see is that after the burial, people get, okay with the situation, but then there are lots of lives at stake because she was working in the community where she was supposed to be protected. And her other colleagues are also saying that they're experiencing similar threats in the communities that they work with. So we expect the police to investigate the matter fully.
Her colleague, community health nurses, told Love News they do not feel safe. Esther Bamfo is the national president of the Community Health Nurses Association of Ghana.
Are not safe. If one person has been killed, what is the guarantee that the rest can also not be killed? So their safety is not assured now. We need security. They need to beef up security. We don't know what they will do. And somebody will ask, can the police sleep with them? The police cannot sleep with them. But they can do more to ensure that the people in this community, my people, are in safe hands. Because the people are living in this community and they have done it first. So anything at all can also happen to the rest.
President of the Ghana Registered Nurses Association, Perpetual Ofuriampofo, told Love News nurses will be forced to withdraw services to the Sewa township should investigations fail to produce the culprits.
We will not be blamed in any way if it extends too much and we don't see finality to it. Then, of course, we will withdraw our services from Sewa and its environs, and if it means extending it to the whole of Ashanti region, we will do that. What the most important thing is that we want to see the police working and investigating this matter to its logical conclusion. It is very, very important to us. We want to understand the motive behind a nurse who is in the community working. Community members know her, and for her to be killed in this manner, we cannot understand.
The association has set up an education fund to take care of the 3 children left behind, with a seed money of 10,000 Ghana cedis. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
Meanwhile, Erastus Asaredonko is also reporting that one person was crushed to death in an accident attributed to poor visibility created by extreme dust pollution on the Atunsu-Kuntanase Road in the Ashanti Regional Capital. Lab FM's Erastus Asaredonko has been to the accident scene and is reporting.
Driver of this tipper truck, who is in custody, has been telling police he did not see the taxi cab approaching. His vehicle rammed into the small Chevrolet vehicle, flattening it and mutilating its driver in the process. The body of Kwame Entry, 57, has been deposited at the Pramso Hospital morgue. His colleague drivers are angry. They attribute the accident to poor visibility due to extreme dust pollution on that stretch. We don't have a problem with Kofi Job working on this road. We just want him to water down the dust. You don't see who is driving ahead or beside you when driving. 3 people have died on this road due to this. In yesterday's accident, the tipper truck was virtually sitting on the taxi cab. We want to block the road to traffic. We don't care if we are arrested. It will be for the good of the people. Whilst driving from the scene of the accident, the severity of the pollution was visible. The problem may be compounded in the night with no street lighting. Constant calls from commuters, residents and school authorities on the dust pollution have not yielded the desired results.
Aside watering this road to reduce the extreme dust pollution to residents here, the contractor, Kofi Job Construction, has dug many of these trenches, like this one, on the road to reduce the speed of commuters here. And this is causing many accidents. Aside the extreme dust pollution being experienced by residents and commuters on this road, there are death traps, trenches on the road. There are also other death traps unknown to the vehicle user who is not conversant with this particular road. Until that is fixed and until authorities place more premium on this road and place portable road signs to warn commuters on this road, there could be more deaths until this particular road is completed. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
And that is why the campaign is still on, and we'll talk comprehensively about it. We're not only looking at how we had 9 people losing their lives in the Kratchi area, but also a near miss for 2 of our topmost members of parliament. And we'll let you in on the conversation because when we are commenting on the subject, we should always make sure we add the hashtag #ArriveAlive as well as hashtag AM Show, #JoyNews. It is accidents and talking about safety on the road Well, moving on, the former Ashanti Regional Minister and Mayor of Kumasi is doubtful government may achieve its target of making Ghana clean by the end of the first term of the NPP government. Dr. Samuel Sapong laments what he describes as high level of indiscipline among the populace. He believes tackling such negative tendencies is the easiest way to develop the country in all its facets. He has been speaking to some youth on indiscipline in Kumasi. Nanaya Ojima has more in the following report.
Dr. Sapon opens the event by treating the congregation to a rendition of the national anthem on a mouth organ, to the surprise of many of his audience. The former mayor then explains why he thinks government is failing, particularly in sanitation and corruption fight.
It's actually taking every facet of our endeavor. Talk of the police, talk of our roads, talk of our forests, talk of our ministries. There is indiscipline all over. If someone eats in his vehicle and decides to throw the waste outside, then it means that that person is indisciplined. But if we are all able to discipline ourselves by putting the rubbish in our vehicle and then throwing it away when it gets over somewhere, I bet you KMA wouldn't have any problem.
Dr. Sapon conceded even in his days as mayor, investment in sanitation achieved little due to negative public attitude to the menace. He observes Keep Kumasi Clean and Green initiative by current city authorities is yet to make the desired impact 3 years after launch, despite similar resource deployment. Dr. Sapon rallies churches and other institutions to create awareness and fight indiscipline to change Ghana for the better.
Education. It hasn't gone well with the people. Education. And then secondly, if someone misbehaves, so far as sanitation issues are concerned, that person should be sent to court so that it will serve as an example, to others. But if people litter around and they are not punished, it means they will continue to do that.
Well, we have to end the news, but before we go, we're one of the main media partners for this. And you know, we're talking about a quiz for second cycle education in science and maths. And so far, 21 senior high schools in the Upper West region miss out in this year's preliminary round of the National Science and Maths Quiz competition due to the lack of funds. Now, only 3 schools, St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary, based in Wa, as well as the St. Ignatius of Loyola from Lasia Tolo and Wa Technical Institute, participated in the regional competition. And correspondent Rafiq Salam is reporting that despite the low participation of schools, the 3 schools put up a spirited performance so far. Wa St. Xavier Junior Ceremony, as well as other champions of the region.
Not be allowed to go. The regional competition, which was initially scheduled to take place at Wa Senior High Technical School on February 11, was rescheduled a few times before it finally took place at the World Library Complex on Friday. St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary, St. Ignatius of Loyola Senior High School, and Wa Technical Institute were the only 3 schools that participated in the regional competition. St. Ignatius of Loyola, better known as Lasia Tolo Senior High School, due to their performance in the national competition last year, where they qualified to the quarterfinal stage of the competition and were thus granted automatic qualification for the event this year, decided to join the 2 schools, increasing the number of schools participating to 3. For St. Ignatius of Loyola, it was an opportunity to test their contestants in battle ready for the main competition, but for the organizers, it was relief at last as it solved the several days of frustration they went through organizing the program. Despite the low numbers, the 3 senior schools that showed up didn't disappoint. By the third round, it was crystal clear that the junior seminarians were on the verge of romping to victory. There were not much changes in the scores at the end of the fourth round. St. Francis Junior Seminary was still on top, with St. Ignatius of Loyola breathing closely on their neck.
At the end of the contest, here are the scores. Wa Technical Institute had 5 points. St. Ignatius of Loyola SHS had 21 points. And St. Francis Xavier had 27 points.
For winning the competition, St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary received 1,000 Ghana cedis as prize money from the organizers of the competition.
I feel more than the word excited, because the NSMQ exposes you to a lot of things as a student. And the advantage is that you learn outside syllabus, so it actually helps us. Yes, it helps us a lot.
For JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Well, that's the school, the St. Xavier Junior Seminary. Well, they made champions in the part of the region, but in the meantime, we will continue bringing to you the updates from the various regions when it comes to the National Science and Maths Quiz right here on Joy News. We have to take a break. When we come back, we'll do a news review. We have a couple of the newspapers for Monday morning. Do stay with us.